Yo, what's up everybody? Jumping here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the easiest way to beat the Royal Pools in the Prestige Raid on Destiny 2. The Royal Pools is definitely one of the hardest parts of the entire Prestige Raid, and it gives a lot of fire teams a lot of trouble. But if you follow my little strategy, it is crazy on how easy it really is. Now the main key to this strategy is try to have as many Titans as possible, and you want every single Titan playing the Sunbreaker. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might think, well, that's kind of crazy. Why not the Striker with double Pulse Nade? It makes taking out the Bathers really easy. Well, it's all about doing damage to the Lanterns. And the Sunbreaker Titan is absolutely the best for taking out the Lanterns. It's actually really crazy. Now, what I recommend is using the top tree. This is really important because of the final perk. This final perk will do insane damage to the Lanterns at the end when you get into damage. In fact, if you have two Titans throwing hammers on one side, you will instantly destroy all of the Lanterns on that side. So if you have 6 Titans and you have 2 target the left, 2 target the right, and 2 target the back, you will literally get done with damage in about 5 to 10 seconds. It's really, really crazy. And I'm going to show that in the gameplay. You can see it for yourself. Now, there are other classes that are also good for doing the Royal Pools, primarily the Warlocks. Now, the Hunter, I personally think, is the weakest right now for the Royal Pools. If you are going to play a Hunter, though, I would recommend the Tether. I really do not recommend using the Golden Gun with Celestial Nighthawk. On normal, the Golden Gun with the Nighthawk will one-shot one Lantern. On Prestige, though, it does not. You have to use the Golden Gun and then shoot it a little bit to destroy it. It's really not worth it. I do think that the Tether is worth it, though, because at least you can tether the enemies, kill them really quickly, and stun them. So I would say if you're going to play a Hunter, use the Night Stalker with the Tether. But I really do think that you want to have as many Titans as possible. You don't have to have 6, but if you have 3 or 4, that will definitely make the Royal Pools a lot easier. Now, the grenade I 100% recommend is the Thermite Grenade. It does really good damage to the Bathers. If you have multiple Titans, you only really need one Rally Barricade, and all the other Titans can use the Towering Barricade. I will show that and talk about that once we get into the gameplay. But the setup that you want to use the Hollow Fire Heart, because if you have your super, you're only going to use it on the Lanterns. So when you're actually killing the Bathers, you're going to be able to go ahead and have your Thermite Grenade every single time a Bather will come up. So you can throw it, shoot rockets at the Bathers. You don't have to worry about conserving rockets. You can use them all up if you like. And then you pretty much will always have your Thermite Grenade for the next Bather because of the perk on this chest piece. So I definitely say that this chest piece is the one you want. For the helmet, I recommend using Grenade Cooldown for Solar Subclass. For the arms, you could put anything you want on. 100% go for the Hollow Fire Heart. I have Solar Melee will recharge faster, although it does not matter. And for the boots, 100% put Grenades will recharge faster when using a Solar Subclass. And on my Titan mark, I have Increased Armor Resilience because I want to have a little bit of resilience and some recovery. Now, the weapons, I think the Origin Story is definitely one of the best weapons for shooting enemies in the Royal Pools. It does a lot of damage. You have Rampage. It is a really good weapon. The energy weapon for the Titan really doesn't matter all that much, but you do want to use a rocket launcher. That way you can throw your Thermite Grenade and use rockets on the Bathers as they come up. Especially if you can have help from your teammates, you should have no problems taking out the Bathers. It's all about the rotation. It's all about speed. And once you get to the middle and you're going to do damage, you should have no problem taking out all the Lanterns really quickly and just getting it done super fast. So that is the setup for the Titan. Now I'm going to show one more setup. I want to talk about another really good Warlock setup that you can use for the Royal Pools, because not every fire team is going to have 6 Titans, although I do recommend it. In fact, what I do a lot when I'm doing the Prestige Raid is I will sacrifice my rewards from the Royal Pools because I just don't care about getting the reward. I want to get done with that part as quick as possible because it is really easy to get stuck on the Royal Pools for hours because people are dying and you can't kill the Lanterns all in one damage step. So I want to get done with it, so I'm always down to play a Titan. That way we can just get it done, and then if I want to switch for the rest of the raid, I can switch later. I don't care about the Royal Pools at all. So that's something I would recommend. But if you are going to play another class, I really do recommend the Warlock over the Hunter just because the Hunter really doesn't have a lot of things going for it. for the Royal Pools. The only thing that is kind of nice is having the Night Stalker with the tether. That is good, but in terms of doing damage to lanterns, the Hunter just doesn't really have anything, where the Warlock does. That's the really cool thing. So I'm going to quickly change my class, and I will show you exactly what you want to use on a Warlock. Alrighty guys, so this is going to be my Warlock setup, and there are two really good subclasses for the Royal Pools. You have the Stormcaller for clearing ads, and you can also use the Arc Soul with the Rift on the Stormcaller, and that's really nice for doing damage to the lanterns. You can put it out right in the middle, and everybody will get an Arc Soul. It will help kill enemies, so it is nice for that. But the best class for the Warlock for the Royal Pools, believe it or not, is the Dawnblade. I know it's pretty crazy, but the Dawnblade does work really well, primarily because the super will do a lot of damage to the lanterns. And the solar grenade is really good for taking out the bathers. So the solar grenade will absolutely destroy them. If you throw this and shoot a rocket at the bather, it will pretty much die. So it is a really good grenade. And for the Rift, if you have two Warlocks, I would recommend one Healing Rift and one Empowering Rift. If you just have one Warlock, maybe just the Empowering Rift. And I would recommend the bottom tree for the Dawnblade. Now, what's really important about this setup is you want to use an energy weapon. You don't even really want to use your primary for killing all the ads, because all the ads are going to be Scions and Legionnaires, and you can kill them really quickly with your energy weapon, but you want to have your energy weapon be Void. And you want a good one, like the Uriel's Gift or the Prosecutor. Once again, same thing, use a Cluster Bomb rocket launcher, because it's really, really good for this part, for taking out bathers. But the setup that you want to use is the Nazarick Sin. This helmet is amazing for pretty much every single one of the subclasses. And the reason why it's so good is because as you're killing enemies with your Void weapon, you're going to get your grenade to come back. So just like the Titan, you should always have your solar grenade for every single bather that will come out. As long as you are killing enemies with your Void auto rifle, you should 100% have that grenade recharge for when that bather comes out. And it will really help you kill your bather. Now for the helmet, I recommend using grenades will recharge faster with a solar subclass. For the arms, just use whatever you want. For the chest piece, I have solar melee will recharge faster. And for the boots, I have grenades will recharge faster with a solar subclass. And for the Warlock Bond, I use increased armor recovery. So that's pretty much my Dawnblade setup. And my Stormcaller setup is the same thing. I recommend using the bottom tree, using the Pulse Grenade, because the Pulse Grenade is really good. And also use the Nazarick Sin. That way, if you're using your Void weapon, you can always have your Pulse Nade for when the bather comes out. It's really nice to have that grenade every single time, because it's really going to help you kill that bather. I'm not going to show the Stormcaller setup because I don't want to make this video a lot longer, but just take my word for it. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just the mods are a little bit different, and I use the bottom tree for the Stormcaller. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to show you the gameplay now, and we're going to have 6 Titans. And it's going to be absolutely ridiculous on how quickly we can get the Royal Pools done. And it's going to probably blow your mind a little bit when you see us take out the lanterns. Alrighty guys, well this is going to be the gameplay. And it's going to take us 2 minutes and 15 seconds to actually get through this part. So yeah, that's really freaking crazy. Now in the beginning here, I wanted to show something. I wanted to show the Warcliffe Coil glitch. Just because I have heard a lot of people say they don't know what that is. And it is a really useful little glitch that you can do right now. If you do not have heavy ammo, if you equip the Warcliffe Coil and you pick up 1 heavy ammo, when you swap over to your other rocket launcher, you will pretty much get max ammo. And it works with every single power weapon in the game. It's most useful though with, of course, the rocket launchers like the Sens of the Past or the Curtain Call, because it's going to allow you to always have your rockets. All you need is just 1 heavy drop and you can refill your rockets. Now what you're going to see here is we're going to help each other kill our bathers. Like I said, a lot of this rotation is going to be about speed. You really do want to do the triangle strategy, which means that there's 3 guys on the right and 3 guys on the left, and everyone will just swap with their side. Now, if you notice, I did kill the enemies in the middle. I think that's something important that you should try to do. Try to kill some of the enemies as you run through the middle, and try to clear that middle area so nobody will die trying to run through. And then, if you are on the left side, I'm pretty much showing you the way the enemies spawn. If you're on the top left, the enemies will always spawn from the top left corner. If you're on the top right, the enemies are always going to spawn from the top right corner. If you are on the bottom left, the enemies will always be coming from the bottom right. If you are on the bottom right, the enemies are always coming from the bottom left. So that is where all the enemies spawn, and most of the time you can kill them right as they come to you. So if you're quick about it, you shouldn't have any problems killing your enemies. Now unfortunately, my friend Corky died, and because of that, this will no longer be a perfect run. If he was alive, then we would have all used our hammers in the middle. But when you die, you lose your buff, and you really don't want to get in the pool because you're going to take a lot of damage. So I'm going to pop my super, I'm going to target the bather just to weaken him, and then I'm going to go to town on the left side. Me and one other friend was targeting the left side, 2 people were targeting the back side, and pretty much the left side and the back side was destroyed at the exact same time, but because only one guy was using hammers on the right side, we all needed to use our rockets to pretty much take that out really quickly. Now if you do have multiple titans, what you can do is use the towering barricades to block off the left door and the right door, and you can also throw some up in front of the pool, so when the bathers come out, they'll be blinded. It works great. Also, the Warlock class is good for this. Hunter is probably the weakest one, but if you do play a Hunter, I would recommend the Night Stalker with the tether. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I really hope that this video has helped. If it has, will you please like the video for me? Be sure to subscribe for future videos, and I really do hope that everyone has a very nice day, and peace out.